Alright, so I wanted to take some time to dig a little bit deeper into audio and the mics that we have and the type of mics that might be available to you. So specifically for this one, we'll be talking about the super cardioid, the omnidirectional, and the cardio condenser microphones that you saw during class. So there are four main types, maybe just three depending on how you think about it. Um, but there's the cardioid, supercardioid, omni, and figure eight microphones. And these names kind of describe the shape of the sound that they'll pick up in conjunction to the position of the mic and where it's pointing. And we'll show some of those here in a little bit. But yeah, cardioid, it is kind of the shape the pickup pattern is a shape of almost like a heart, cardiac, cardioid, that's kind of where that comes from. Um, and a supercardioid really picks up in a very directional position. So the cardioid might pick up a little bit from behind the mic. The supercardioid picks up a little bit less, but it's very focused. The omni means it picks up from all directions. Figure eight picks up in a figure eight so that the middle portion of the eight is where the microphone would be positioned. And then we have some different categories for mics: dynamic, condenser, and ribbon, which we'll talk about. All right. So mic types, let's start talking about those three categories. Dynamic, really for any type of audio. If you need one that you're going to be utilizing for a wide variety of things, a dynamic mic will fit you just well. A condenser mic, this one is definitely kind of studio based. It is a little bit more susceptible to some harsh conditions. But yeah, really something that you don't want to be lugging around and throwing in a bag, throwing in the back of your truck, etc. It needs to be kind of in a studio setting. And then a ribbon mic, great for large areas. So if you have a large space, it's really great for. It'll kind of cut out some of that noise that might be coming in from the side. So let's talk about this idea of the directional response. This is where the shapes come into place. So we talked about the heart-shaped, etc. So polar diagrams or polar patterns is what we see with this image with the blue or the turquoise shape. This shows the amount of sound pickup that the mic will acknowledge. And so the center of this circle diagram is where the mic will be. 0 degrees would be the front of the mic. 180 degrees would be the back of the mic. And so we can see that if we have our mic facing forward, we will be picking up 0 decibels, which means that's the max pickup, the max amount of sound levels that it will take in. Whereas if we go to 90 degrees, we see that it'll be -5 decibels, so it's taking in a little less sound. And then at 120 degrees, kind of coming in at the back side of the mic, we're probably only picking up -15 decibels. And I think it's important to realize, and it gets a little confusing, but all mics have different polar patterns at different frequencies. And so the frequency is, if you want to think of it as the pitch, so how high or how low the sound is that's coming in. So if this helps, here's a different way to think about that polar pattern. So we can see 0 degrees at the front of the mic. Yeah, so there's just another way to think of it. So here's some different patterns. Omnidirectional, which we'll talk about next, picks up on all sides. Cardioid is more of that heart shape. Hypercardioid picks up a lot from the back. Supercardioid picks up a little bit less from the behind the mic. This figure 8, and then we have an ultra directional. So we're really focusing in on one direction, but we're picking up just a little bit from some of the other sides. So let's talk about this omnidirectional mic. This is our lavalier, or some people will call it a lapel mic. Lapel is the lapel of your jacket, and that's typically where it can be clipped onto. So this one's the most accurate. This is when you need to be super accurate on what you're picking up. So that's why we use it for interviews. We're picking up one thing, the interviewer's voice. And then we point it at our sound source. So that's why we need to clip it so that it's facing our source of the sound. So let's take a listen. We're going to watch this quick video that we did in class with our participant using the lavalier mic.
I actually got discharged from the Navy, and this is the only place that would accept me.
Oh, that's good. All right. Yeah, we love to have students that get discharged from the Navy. That's actually one of our top priorities.
I think there's a club for it, actually.
Yeah, perfect. Good. I'm so glad. There's so many clubs on campus, and I'm so glad you brought that up. Is there any other clubs that you're a part of?
All right. And there you can see once again kind of this the pickup pattern, the polar pattern of how that mic is going to pick up sound. All right, the super cardioid. So this can be referred to as a shotgun mic, or more of a directional mic. And this is the thing that's providing that more harp shape pattern, but we're still picking up some sound from behind the mic. So it's a super cardioid. And we can look at this pickup pattern over here, and this just really diagrams how those pickup patterns change as we go from different frequencies. We can hear from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. So that's the range of which we can hear. So that'll change depending on how the frequency of the sound coming in. So let's take a look at that video. Once again, we switch from the lapel mic or the lavalier mic over to the shotgun mic, and we can listen to the difference.
At first I want to be an ag teacher, but my real dream is to have my own college campus one day. So I want to learn how to be a state representative, maybe be like the Senate.
So we're going to move over to the cardioid condenser mic. This is the one that we use in the recording studio. It's a directional pattern, so the majority of the pickups coming from in front of the mic, which is good because if we're sitting across from someone and we have two people talking at the same time into two different microphones, we don't want a lot of pickup coming in from across the table. So it's kind of a good thing. It's a good decision. So let's take a look. Let's take a listen to some of the audio that we captured from that.
Morning, this is Troy Tarpley here with DJ Coker. How's it going, DJ Coker?
It's going well.
Good. So one of your classes is your radio practicum, right?
Absolutely.
And how did this name DJ Coker come about for your DJ practicum?
All right, and then the last thing, we don't have one. Just wanted to talk about it so you know what it is. A ribbon mic. This is the one that's providing the figure 8 pickup pattern or polar pattern, and it uses a thin ribbon of typically aluminum, and it's suspended by magnets, and any vibration will be picked up by that movement and translated into sound, but they are a little sensitive. They've been around forever, but they're very delicate and fragile, so it's important to keep that in mind. All right, so that is it for this. I do want to take a quick look at what we have on WT Class. So we have inside the audio file inside of our learning modules. So we go to learning module, audio. I do have a folder for each of the 3 mics that we have that you'll be using, and I strongly encourage you to get in there and look at the data sheet and the instruction manual so you know how these things work. I'll also be putting on some other video tutorials so you know how to use these a little bit more in depth.